Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District. But before I say that, I want to apologize for not posting that much, especially during the times where the midterm's like a week away, 6 days away. Holy crap. That kind of scares me, to be honest. But sorry I've not been posting a lot. I haven't posted in a very long time, and I really apologize for that. But I'm going to be posting probably on a daily basis until the election now. I apologize for not posting. I will be doing the most coverage on the midterms that I can do. But I really apologize for that. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District. This race I've been paying attention to a pretty decent amount. This is probably the House, in the House, if we're talking in the House-wise, this is probably the race I've been looking at the most in the House. Mostly because it's in my home state and it's very competitive. And a main reason of that is the Legalized Marijuana Party. So the Legalized Marijuana Party is, if you didn't know, they like marijuana and they want to legalize it. Kind of self-explanatory there. It took, in 2020, let's go to the map. In 2020, it took a lot of votes away from Angie Craig. As you can see, this is a district that Biden won by 6 points in 2020. The same year, Angie Craig only won by 1. And you can see the Legalized Marijuana Party got 5.8% of the vote. That is a staggering amount for a third-party candidate. That's a very good amount. Anything over like 1 or 2%, 3% is a very good amount. And they got almost 6% of the vote, which I think is very interesting. And there's been a trend about Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District's legalized marijuana candidates, is that this year the candidate has died. Not politically, she's dead. She's not breathing anymore. She died. She's dead. And it's still staggering how much votes a dead person is going to take away from an incumbent congresswoman. In 2020, I forgot to say this. Also, in 2020, the same district, in the same race, same party, their candidate, Adam Charles Weeks, also died, and he got 6% of the vote. A dead candidate got 6% of the vote, which is a very big amount for a dead person. Third party, I might add too. So that is really saying how much Legalized Marijuana Party has a presence in this district. But in my opinion, I think the Legalized Marijuana Party has been losing a lot of momentum. Democrats have legalized marijuana gummies in the state, and it was pretty big news, so I feel like a lot of people know that about it. In the state, it was pretty big news, and on Twitter, I've seen a couple of good people talking about it, but it's pretty big news, and it's obviously showing that Democrats are trying to legalize marijuana as a whole. So I feel like a lot of people are seeing that voting for the legal marijuana party maybe is not worth it because Democrats are trying to legalize marijuana. Also, I feel like this time, because it's not a presidential race year, a presidential election year, that there's going to be more attention to this race, and it being way more competitive. The marijuana party, I think, the candidate that died in the marijuana party, I feel like this time it's more obvious and more well known that she's dead. So I feel like that's obviously going to give some votes at Angie Craig, because the Legalized Marijuana Party, to steal a lot of votes from Craig. But I feel like that's all I'm going to say about the Legalized Marijuana Party. I just wanted to get that out of the way really quick, because that's a big part about this race and why it's becoming really competitive. But the two major candidates that will actually win is Angie Craig, who I've talked about, but I haven't really introduced. Sorry about that. But Angie Craig is the incumbent Democrat U.S. representative. She's running for a third term. She was elected in 2018. And the Republican nominee, Tyler Kirshner, like I said before, he ran against Angie Craig in 2020 and is a veteran. So, not a lot. They are both pretty standard candidates. Angie Craig is pretty good. She is pretty standard. I would say not above average, but like close to being above average for a Democratic candidate. She is a little better at campaigning than a lot of other Democrats, though. That's what I'll say. And Tyler Kirshner, he's a pretty good candidate as well. Just an average candidate, like a Republican candidate in Minnesota. Pretty average. Not not too. He's pretty conservative. He's just normal. I just think of Ronna McDaniel Romney or whatever her name is, the chairwoman of the RNC. She reminds me of him for some reason. But he's just standard. There's nothing. I think Angie Craig is slightly the better candidate, but I feel like Tyler Christner is also very good and standard. But Angie Craig has been campaigning on mainly abortion. Heard a lot of talk on drug prices and a lot of accomplishments in Congress and bills that she has passed, and a lot of other issues as well. Those I think are the main three in my opinion. And Christner is campaigning on the economy and crime. Just like average attacks on Democrats this year. Just average attacks. But that's really much it. Right, Angie Craig is, in my opinion, slightly favored. But she's slightly favored. As we can see, Minnesota's 2nd District on 538. This race, not a lot of polling has happened. Only 3 polls, and this is the most accurate and recent poll. Shows Craig winning by 1 point and over by getting 5. And I think over by getting 5 is very appropriate because I feel like as I said before, the marijuana party is not going to have that big of an impact as they did in 2020. But Angie Craig is winning by 1 point, another 1 point poll, and this bias poll has Craig up by the most. That was in May, though, so this is probably the most inaccurate poll. This isn't a Republican internal showing Craig up by 5. This poll means nothing, to be honest. But 538, I think it has given somewhere like a 70% chance of Angie Craig winning, which is a very good amount. Politico has this race as a toss-up, which I think is appropriate. I do think this race is a toss-up as well. Why is it loading? Okay. Right now, it says, I already said that. It remains a toss-up, very close race, like I said. Let's see, Democrats are favored in incumbency. Oh, and fundraising, I forgot to talk about fundraising. Angie Craig is leading in a very big amount, as like many other Democrats, in funding. She's doing very well with funding. But candidate quality, they are both generic or just not that great. Or I mean just average, okay, good candidates, like I said earlier. And long-term trends, nothing really happened there. Not a lot else about this race. Toss-up, really appropriate in my opinion. If we look at The Economist, polls have been showing they have a chance of winning for Angie Craig, 85. I don't know if it's that high. And they have Angie Craig winning 53.5% of the vote. So for this one specifically, I don't think they really even tried to even ask about the third-party candidate, because that's clearly this could maybe be accurate if it wasn't for the third-party candidate. But because of that, obviously it's not. So right now, summary of everything that I just said. Angie Craig is a very vulnerable Democrat because of the third party and also the political climate that's also going to affect her. And Tyler Christner has a very good chance because of that, but it is a toss-up and it can really go either way. So this is probably one of the top 3, in my opinion, one of the top 3 closest House races this election. This is going to be very close. Angie Craig can win, Tyler Christner can win. This can go really either ways. This is a really interesting race, though. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry I have not posted in a while. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video, and yeah, see you guys again soon. And remember to vote if you